Deepak, Anu here. I will start first. So overall session for last 4 days has been really good, and a lot of things which I learned and observed. The first thing, the key learning that I had was I do a lot of presentations across here in my current role, but then doing something impromptu, coming up with ideas, coming up with things, that's something which I have learned in addition to the different L&D design processes, the models, and other area that you covered. So these are few of the things which I have learned, which I want to start implementing into my current role or day-to-day activity, Deepak. That's
Thank you very much, Anu.
Thanks, and thanks for a wonderful session, Deepak. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I could go next.
Yes, anybody at random can go. Yes. Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I think it was after a long time that I felt like I'm in a classroom again, studying. And kudos to you in making this such an engaging, because virtually I think it's a challenge, right? People are always there's a risk of people drifting off, and not being in a classroom, I think it's challenging to not be able to see visually, right? Somebody's drifting and taking corrective action. But I think I feared that that's going to happen, because 4.5 hours at a stretch sitting, and I was pleasantly surprised that that didn't happen. It was a very engaging session overall. From a takeaway perspective, I think for me what was important is I joined L&K in a particular role, and that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And I had very limited visibility into the other aspects of learning and development. And what this session has been able to provide to me is very valuable insights into the work that goes on in other areas within L&K, like delivery. And also, the different, how do we formally structure the entire training program, be it your assess, motivate, design, and it made me introspect into which are these aspects that I'm not a part of, and then what happens. And in the trainings that are happening in my areas, are any of these components missing? And for me to be consciously, making sure that the trainings that happen in going forward, or when I'm having my discussions with my stakeholders, I make sure that these are covered so that it's a more streamlined process or execution of the training that happens. So thank you for the last 4 days.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Deepak. I'd like to go next. This is Meenakshi.
Yes, please.
So, Deepak, a couple of things that I want to particularly point out. Over the last few days, I got to know more about the work that my colleagues from the extended team do, the operations team, than I had until now. It gave me more perspective to the work that they do. I take that as good learning. And secondly, thinking on my feet has always been an area of opportunity for me. And I'm hoping that the various exercises that we participated in, the role plays, though I wasn't a very active participant compared to my colleagues, but I'm hoping that the learning I've gathered will help me overcome that shortcoming and I'd be more prepared. Lastly, thank you for the very engaging session. And if I may ask, it'd be great if you could spend a few minutes at the end addressing some questions that we have. We could share them on chat.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Meenakshi.
Deepak, Shashwati here. I can go next.
Yes, please.
Sure, thanks. So yes, this was a very interactive and enlightening 4 days. And I think the fact that while all of us are in the L&K organization, each of us, or at least, we do different roles, and we have different interactions, we have different stakeholders. What this helped us understand, is what happens in those areas, the challenges, and not only that, we participated in addressing some of these areas. So like the vendor management, perhaps, the learning partners, me and my peers, we don't get into that, but yet we were able to participate, contribute, learn, exchange. So that was something very, very insightful. And the takeaways for me is the map, which was one of the first things that you shared. I have already started noting down some of the things, and I had put forth in our discussion, but I want to adapt using it on a daily basis, and I'm going to do that. And I also, if I look at the whole 4-day experience, I would like to say that, I fall back upon the Kolb's learning process, where we had a concrete experience here. We did a lot of reflective observation. What I would like to do is, I have made notes on some of the things which I found very relevant from all these discussions. I will revisit them. I will strengthen my reflective observation, focus on conceptualizing, and pick up a few things which I will, on a personal, my personal agenda is I will see how I use them. I use these pointers on my day-to-day work. So that's my takeaway, and I hope that whatever I'm learning here, some of the nuggets and the jewels that I've picked up, I will be able to implement in my work. So thank you very much. Very, very interesting session.
Thank you, Shashwati. You have already accumulated a lot from this, let me tell you, starting from the beginning and other things. And I think you're definitely going to make the most out of it. Congratulations and thank you.
I will go next, Deepak. Himanshu.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So Deepak, as Shashwati mentioned that, we come from different teams within the L&K. So we are I'm from the technical assessment team, and I always remain curious how these different teams, LCs and operation teams, interact with both the teams, and how they interact with the leadership or internal stakeholder, and how they interact with external stakeholders like vendor and all. And then as something like training part will come, or there is a lot of backend activities going on. So I was always curious about knowing what is happening in the operation, what is happening in LC's role. So I've got the glimpse of all those roles and how they work, and how they interconnect with each other, and how they process the things. So it's a good learning, and definitely I will apply whatever I have learned here in my upcoming projects.
Thank you very much, Himanshu.
Hi, this is Jaya. I could go next.
Absolutely, yes.
Thanks, Deepak. I think I echo all the points that have been put forward by everyone who shared their feedback before me. Great session. Personally, I think I've attended a training, digitally and not self-paced after quite a while. There's some very interesting models that you've heard of briefly in conversations in reference, but I actually went, Google, looked up, right? So you're constantly learning, and it's good. I actually felt like I'm a student. My son is also preparing for his midterm. He was looking at the 55-pager that we received, and he told me, now you know how I feel, right? Because I've been talking about learning and upskilling, etc. So that's on a lighter note. As a brief history of this team, it was great for the entire team to come together, at least on an annual basis. We connect, we have an offsite, we're very competitive, and with all the activities that we did during the course of this training, I think some of those experiences were rebuilt. Personally, for me, you have your own set of thoughts, you have your own perceptions. It was very interesting to hear the different days, like peeling an onion, right? The different perceptions and thoughts that other people brought to the table, which gets you thinking. So I think it was a great session. It's after a long time that I have been engaged for 4 days at this scale. So kudos to you. And I think the entire team is very collaborative. So thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much, Jaya, for these wonderful words. Encouraging word, I would also say that. And 100% it is because of all of your support and your cooperation that we were able to not only finish this off on time, but also bring it to a level wherein we can have multifarious ways of learning and dimensions. Thank you very much.
I will go next, Ashwanti here.
Yes, please.
So, thank you, first of all, Deepak, for this wonderful session. In fact, it never felt like a training for me. It was more interactive and engaging session because I think really after a long time, our team has been together in one of the session because after this pandemic, I don't think I even spoke to most of them here. When we were at office, it was different, though we don't get into their works, but we used to at least meet them. But that didn't happen for a long time now. But that happened here in this training, so I'm happy about it. Takeaway, one thing I liked here is it. As I told before, it wasn't more like a training. So whatever you wanted to, I mean, discuss about the topic, I think most of the answers you got from us. So that's what I liked because when other colleagues of us, they started sharing their inputs. So that was more easier to understand the topic than just like a book. So it wasn't that way. So that was a really good session. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Ashwanti. Who do we have next now?
So, couple of things on the takeaway. I love the way that the feedbacks on each activity that we all gave coming out of our comfort zones. Although we may not be interacting with most of the team members on a daily basis, but this training definitely had brought all of us together as a team. This is like an annual team connect that we have had, where we are interacting with each other. We are trying to bring out the best in us and also learn from what has been told, right? So there are times that we may not be coming out and telling that, hey, you can do this better, in the lack of time or lack of connect with each other. I think that has very prominently has come out in this session. And also, it has given us the taste of some of the critical roles and responsibilities in L&K, because some of us definitely have not moved from team to team as some of the tenured team members are in the session today. And this has definitely given the view of what the other portfolios and the teams are going through on a daily basis, and it also helps us to understand from their point of view that how it can be when you are actually facing the role, right? And the overall experience, I'm sure, as mentioned, the bringing everyone together is one of the points that it definitely makes a great team to work, collaborate together, and try to see the bring out the best qualities from each one of us and express where we can do better. And also the entire session was well planned. I'm sure most of the areas, since we have already been working or have been put through such situations, we are maybe aware of practical situations, but theoretically we definitely got the insight on what are the processes, and it definitely will help us answer the questions in the examination, I'm sure. And very well done, Deepak. I think last that I had attended one of the digital training where it was completely one-sided, where the trainer was just flipping through the slides and not having to talk to the or interact with the participants. That has not happened in this entire 4 days. You definitely have kept us on toes to think and bring in our point of view as an individual and the team player. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Shilpi, for your kind words. Now I think Ajasvita wants to go next, or yes.
Yeah, Deepak, sure. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, first of all, it was a very wonderful session. Like we all enjoyed it a lot in these last 4 days. And would like to thank you, my team, first of all, in arranging this particular session, like starting from getting the approval, and we were also like able to get this particular training done within this quarter, because like there were chances when we were thinking whether we'll be able to do it or not. But yeah, again, thanks to the team that we were able to make it, because being in the learning domain, right, we are so much busy in imparting the trainings to all our business, to the clients whom we are supporting, and somewhere we forget ourselves also that we also need that upskill, which we need to like upskill ourselves as well. So thank you to the teams. We were had this opportunity where we can also like upskill ourselves. And yes, as Anu also mentioned in the starting, right, usually we deliver the presentations to our business where we are well aware of the PPTs, of the slides, that what is the new process that has come up, and we are like, we have the time to prepare ourselves going in front of the business. But out here, you make sure like you made sure that everyone is interactive, everyone is participating in the session, and within like it was very spontaneous also, right, at times that we have hardly 10 minutes or might be like less, like fraction of times only, right, to speak out on and give our views on whichever topic is coming up. So that was again like a lot of learning that everyone had. And yeah, because usually sometimes we become shy, right, in providing or in giving our opinions and all. But yeah, you make sure that everyone is participating and everyone is speaking out on their thoughts, what they feel about in general on the topic which is there. And yes, again, a lot of learning which was there from everyone, because I believe every day is a learning, and in these 4 days it's a lot of learning that we have learned from each other, as well as through the kind of a presentation you also prepared, and how it flowed, right, how these 4 days we have been engaged and all. So yeah, thanks again for all your time, and looking forward for such trainings again in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much, others. Thank you very much.
So Deepak,
Next.
this is Achna this side. Can
Yes,
I go
please.
next? Yeah, so first and foremost thing is I just wanted to say all this while being an L&K, we've been designing, trainings, and we were trying to give some recommendations and things like that. Now we are at the other side where we are undergoing the training, and we definitely know what is that we have to do better to make it engaging and things like that. It's the way that we have learned it. And just a quick thing that I wanted to say is it was a really engaging program, and I'm just trying to understand how did we start. It's already day 4, and it's just so much of engagement that we didn't realize we're already in day 4. And every moment that we have spent together as a team, I'm sure everyone would have learned a lot of things here. And the point is the engagement that we're talking about. Yes, some of the things we were talking about, this adult learners, and I'm reciprocating it for this modern workforce learning, where they implement all these kind of these smaller bits of designing which you have taken care of as a coach. And that is what is the thing that I wanted to appreciate. And thank you all for being around and making it so engaging, and everyone has contributed for it for a learning purpose. And thank you very much, Deepak, and everybody including the leaders who have helped us to get into this training, setting aside time, and the team was organized for this. I just want to thank everybody for this. And Deepak, hats off to you for your patience. You have kept our energy level throughout the same for 4 days. I don't think so anyone has lost that energy and that interest for learning what's coming next, the guesswork that we were trying to do, what will be the next topic, how many topics, that kind of conversations have been happening. It's been a very healthy competition within us, that we were contributing, where everyone who was shy could come up and speak up. They tried to put up their points, and they were able to confidently contribute to the topics or everywhere. That quick things that we were trying to do, get some data out, putting things together and represent the data and things like that. That improvisation definitely we will work towards. And one thing we want to promise is we just want to not let go things here. We want to go ahead and further implement it, that we can go and give some kind of a give back to the teams that we have undergone this training, and we can make some kind of a difference being an L&D professional. Thank you very much for this session, and thanks all of you for being around. And especially for a new journey, I think this was a very good platform to know each other. And I think this keep up the momentum. And I just want to thank everyone once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you. All right, who do we have
I
next?
can go next. Shivajyoti here. So
Yes,
yeah,
please.
like Archana said, this is definitely an excellent platform for those of you who have joined new. I think it's me and Archana itself. So definitely a great opportunity. And I think every minute that I have spent in the last 4 days in this training has been a learning for me. Right from what we started off to the end, I did make notes of it, but definitely needs a lot of reading, rereading again and again so that we internalize whatever we have understood theoretically. And like everybody agree that something is more about how do we execute and how do we apply it in our day-to-day activities. But what I like the most and would love to spend time is on the models that you have introduced to all of us, right from the V Sports to Honey and Mumford. There are quite a few models, so I think I would definitely want to spend more time, understand it in detail as well. And I think, yeah, almost everything was, something that we are aware of, heard of, but haven't gone in detail in understanding everything. So I think we started off the journey now, and I'm sure there's a lot to, pursue it further as well. So I think that has been my experience in the training. And Deepak, for me, I didn't feel it was a training, but I felt it was more like a group coaching that was happening, and you were steering the entire table here. So I think that's what my experience was.
Thank you, Jyoti, for your kind words.